You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And oh my god. And go.
This is Jerry.
This has got me as the Board Game Snobs podcast, and we're having a good time.
Listen, Jerry. Listen.
Enrique.
This is Enrique.
Enrique
I
is
love
also here.
goodness.
Enrique is also here.
It came for some reason.
Okay, we're
listen.
coming in halfway.
Stop. Listen, sometimes Enrique's speech impediment makes a difference, and it makes things funnier. And so he just happened to say something that I found mildly amusing in the moment.
I'm sorry.
And it became more funny.
I am glad you're enjoying
It was
yourselves.
fantastic.
That is very fantastic.
Jerry,
Yes. Ask me anything.
I'm gonna go deep into your self-proclaimed historical knowledge of world wars.
Oh, well, there's only been two.
It should be fun.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready. Which
Edit
one?
Those laughs
No,
right
do,
into the microphone.
no, do the last. We're laughing. We laugh into the mic because we
I
love.
make sure to laugh
Are
away
you
from the
familiar with
microphone.
Cher Ami?
Cher Ami?
Mm-hmm.
Barely knew her. I don't know.
Interesting. I learned this from watching one of my favorite British shows of all time,
The Crown?
All Creatures Great and Small.
I have not watched one single
It's
episode.
absolutely one of the best shows and a wonderful delight of a show that you can watch with your entire family and enjoy the beautiful countryside of England and just the joy and peace it brings upon you. That's a good.
What's it about?
He's a veterinarian.
Can I tell you something about All Creatures Big and Small?
Was it big
Sure.
and small or great small?
I don't know, and I don't care. The reason that I haven't watched one single episode of it is because, and I'm not laying blame, but I am laying blame. It's UA Rosenberg.
Yeah, he
did-
made All Creatures. So that's what's confused me.
Yes.
His game is either All Creatures Big and Small and the show's Great and Small, or vice versa. I think it was inspired by this. It was a series of books written by this guy that was a veterinarian and blah, blah, blah. That's kind of his story. I don't know if it's a biography. Anyway, they made a show in the 70s of this very same thing, and now they've rebooted it. It's just an absolute.
Why
it's
do you
good
like
for your
it?
heart and your soul.
I don't want my soul.
It's good for your heart and your soul. I've told your wife several times to watch it. I don't think she still has watched it. It's good for your heart and soul. Okay, neither here nor there. They brought about this true story.
Okay.
He mentioned this thing because the show takes place amidst World War II.
Ooh. So this is not a documentary.
It was no. It's a fiction.
Okay.
Right pre World War II, they're just getting into it, and now in this season they're getting into World War II. And he mentioned he saw some homing pigeons,
Yes.
and he mentioned Cher Ami.
Cher Ami. Are those the medals in their nose?
No. Cher Ami was a male homing pigeon known for his military service during World War I, especially the Meuse-Argonne offensive in October 1918.
That's a rough offensive.
He's famous for delivering a message alerting American forces to the location of the lost battalion. Despite sustaining severe injuries, he lost a leg and his wing was all messed up.
How did it happen? Someone shoot him?
The Germans were shooting at him.
Shot at a pigeon.
So the people, the Allied forces were surrounded. I don't even think they were Allied at this point because this is World War I. I don't know history.
Okay,
You
go
tell
ahead.
me.
Go ahead.
And I think it may have been the French. He's Cher. I mean, he sounds French.
It does.
So they were
doesn't it?
surrounded. They needed backup. So they're sending all these homing pigeons out. The Germans are shooting them down.
Right. As one does.
Cher Ami is, he's twisted and turning and barrel rolling. He gets winged. Bam! Oh, loses a leg. That bird kept on flying. He kept on flying, made it out, delivered the message, backup came, saved a couple hundred men.
Okay.
War hero, this pigeon.
What a wonderful pigeon.
He was, it's amazing. It's an amazing story. I'm surprised they made a movie about it.
Pixar.
They
Doing
better have.
animated
Pixar.
World War
It is
I for
really.
kids.
When they mentioned, I'm like, this bird is a war hero. They gave him a medal, and I looked at the picture, and he's wearing this medal. And I kind
Amazing.
of almost teared up a little bit. Little bird was wearing this medal. That poor bird.
Bird
He don't even know what he was doing. He just knows I got to get this message out there.
He's a hero.
I just wanted a cracker. Ow! I bumped my funny bone and it wasn't funny.
Cher Ami, look it up. It's a fascinating story of this homing pigeons. Homing pigeons are they're incredible animals.
Okay, so I had a friend that did homing pigeons.
I have a friend also that does homing pigeons.
He
Yeah,
did.
your friends
He
are
races
weird.
them.
Yes, I did not know such a thing existed.
Me neither.
Yeah.
It stunned me. We went out to eat at a Mexican restaurant. I don't know why that is so specifically important, but as we were eating, he was telling me about his beehive because he kept bees. And so thus, I just committed myself to talking about bees for the next hour or so while we ate. And he proceeds to tell me about, bees and the wasting issue that they have with the hives. And there's it was interesting, but at the same time, it wasn't very important. But then he just dropped he made a comment about homing pigeons and then insinuated that he raced them. And I could not believe, tell me about it. And they race them. They go to a spot and go, be free. And they see if they can make it. And sometimes apparently they just don't make it.
I'd give mine some nitrous.
Well, sometimes they just don't come back. Like a hawk gets them or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you don't get the message. So they would race homing pigeons.
So from what I understand what they do, because my friend has, I just became aware of this. You and whoever is racing with you, y'all go to a specific location.
Uh-huh.
You release the birds, go to an equidistance away from them, and whoever bird gets home first
Wins.
wins.
Yeah.
You're racing them.
Can't.
And but it's fascinating to me that these birds, I mean, of course, I know animals have all this instinct and stuff. It's just super basic, science, I guess. But how they know to get home? Was it the magnetic waves?
Yeah.
How do they know?
Yeah, they have that. Grok. Hang on a second. There is a thing. I read up on it. It was about
I mean, just like, they'll say like cats, you remember the story of was the journey home or whatever with all the animals that made it home.
how do homing pigeons home? They rely on the Earth's magnetic field,
Boom, nailed it.
visual cues, and potentially infrasound to find their way home.
Oh.
Now, because the magnetic poles are shifting, so I wonder if it's going to be harder and harder for homing pigeons.
Or are they shifting?
They do that every once in a while. They're going to be reversed. North will be south.
Oh, it's going to be south.
Yeah, that's happening. You know that?
Right now?
Yeah.
So do they need to change the maps?
Well, so do you do
Was
know?
Canada south now?
No. You do know that happens.
Canada's south now.
Okay,
Just
so
say
all
it.
right. So if you've never used a compass,
So the rebels were from the north.
you've never used a real compass.
I've used a compass.
Okay, but you've never really used a compass.
I've never been lost in the woods and used a compass.
No. I'm saying you have never really used a actual compass unless you have set the declination. Do you realize that there is
The Declination of Independence.
correct? So there is a declination, which is the magnetic north,
Mm-hmm.
and that is where you're pointing north to. And the magnetic declination is different depending on where you are at. So if you take a compass and take it somewhere else, it does not point true north. It points magnetic north.
So, for instance, we live in Oklahoma. We want to go to Canada, so it might point just straight up. Whereas if you're in California, it might point straight up, but slightly to the right.
The magnetic declination of
Or in other words, northeast.
in Oklahoma, the magnetic declination ranges from -10 to +1 west to east, meaning that the magnetic pole is west of true north, where the exact value varies by location. So it is off. So like here's North Pole, here's the magnetic side of it. So to actually use a compass, you have to know what your magnetic declination is and make that adjustment, or you will not travel north. The magnetic
So
declination.
how do you know what that is at that point in time?
For instance, the magnetic declination of Paris, Texas is +1, positive. The declination is positive east +1. You just have to know.
So you just have to add 1 to that
Yes.
compass.
Yes. And so it's weird, but it is one of those things that if you really want to account for that, you have to do that. So it's weird. But yeah, like there's several maps that show your magnetic declination right now, for instance, of how it kind of like tapers off.
What's the variance in switching? Like, is it a constant thing?
It's the magnetic poles are moving.
Now you're saying that, like, is that something that doesn't normally happen in history, or is that something that happens constantly?
It's not fixed. It is constantly moving. Okay. It's driven by the iron of the Earth's core.
Okay.
So, there's iron in the core.
Iron core.
But yeah, so it shifts, and it's actually right now, if I'm not mistaken, it's shifting.
I learned that from Hillary Swank.
It's shifting towards Siberia.
That's exactly what
Yeah, it's not a fixed point. So unlike the geographic North Pole, which is a fixed point on the Earth, so when you look at a compass, you think it's pointing towards the North Pole.
Right.
It is not.
It's not.
It is pointing towards
There's no Santa up there.
It's pointing towards the magnetic north, which is this.
So it might be like 500 yards away.
Much further, but yes.
3 miles away.
Much further. So
50 miles away.
So the magnetic north, and so it's giving.
So how did they know that back when they were going through the Northwest Passage?
Well, yeah. So they've known about the magnetic, like it's generalized, like where north is, but they typically use the stars. Didn't really have
the stars, boys.
Yeah.
To the
So like the Earth's magnetic,
as Dragonheart once said, to the stars.
So the Earth's magnetic poles are shifting. So at some point in time, the isotope that we use to point towards, which is like the most valuable thing, period, I believe, isn't it? The point north will be pointing south.
I prefer iso magenta.
Yeah. What is it? What is it? What is in compass? The what's that material? It's like super value.
Platinum.
No, it's not platinum. Something like it's that's going to drive me insane till I figure it out. But go ahead.
Platinum 7 times. I went platinum selling rhymes.
This is a pretty good rhyme.
Thank you.
Really
I think Kid Rock made it up, actually.
The Rock?
Kid Rock.
Kid
Not
Rock.
The Rock. His kid.
His kid.
His kid Rock.
He has a kid?
He does.
Since when?
You don't know?
No, I don't know about no.
Since at least the 90s.
Really? I didn't know that.
You don't know Ba Witta Ba?
No, man.
To Bang Bang Diddy?
No.
No, lots of.
I'm not socially inclined to know all that.
Kid Rock actually has a song I actually really like.
What is
and
it?
it kind of brings a tear to my eye.
What is it?
Called Single Father.
Single father.
It's a heartfelt song about a single father raising his child.
And it's a song.
And the burdens that come with that. Not the burdens, but the difficulties that come with raising a child on your own.
I might have to look up this song in this
Single
Kid Rock
father,
guy.
part-time mother.
Only God knows why.
It's a good song.
Either way, I'll get off that compass thing. But what were we talking about? We're talking about going north?
We're talking about compasses.
Yeah, I don't want to encompass this whole
You're my North Star, Jerry.
podcast with that. I am. I got the North Star Award, fun fact.
From where?
From the largest, at the time, it was the largest home health and hospice in the nation.
Oh.
Which was?
Gentiva.
Gentiva.
Yes, that was the name of the company.
I don't know.
And they...
What does Tiva mean or Eva? It must mean something.
It means something. I don't know.
There's lots of Evas.
But it was a thing where they had to, you had to be nominated by your coworkers.
Nomination.
And I had a supervisor that desperately wanted somebody in her supervision to win this coveted award, which was called the North Star. And she wrote a very touching and not true report on me.
You.
And it won.
So you won on false terms. That kind of negates
It was not
the
false.
authenticity of the award.
It was exaggerated extremely.
Okay, all right.
Extreme.
I mean, who doesn't exaggerate a little bit?
Exaggeration.
Exaggeration.
Not reasonable. Yeah, there is that. Anyways, that's where Enrique.
NE,
Yes.
northeast ways.
I am lost there.
Compass. I'm compass talking you.
I know you're compass talking. I don't like it.
Yeah, but I hate when you compass talk.
Either way,
Don't you be compass talking me, boy.
we played several OINK games,
To the
Oinkins.
south with you, Daddy.
which are games for which are they're Japanese small box games.
Which were fantastic.
Does oink mean something in Japanese?
No, it just means oink.
Or is that an American translation of
That's literally
something?
just oink. I think they're making fun of
You
us.
made me hit my mic. And no, stop.
What?
Stop. Every
What?
time we try to have a decent conversation about something, y'all start going, they're trying to make fun of us.
I
They're not
didn't
trying to
hear
make-
what he said. I literally wasn't listening to Enrique. Am I going to have to edit what he said out?
No.
Well-
You should just
Okay, good.
listen.
Please, Enrique.
Well, maybe.
Enrique, behave yourself.
Oink.
Why?
Grok. What does oink mean?
Gork?
Does it mean in Japanese?
Or what is
It's
it?
the
There's got to
sound
be
of
some sort of, I mean,
pig.
there's got to be a translation
I
there.
hope it says it's the sound of
I mean,
pig.
is it pig related? What does oink mean? Why is the oink so important? The sound that American people think a pig makes important to the branding of this game publisher.
It translates OINK Games in English is the name of a Japanese company, which translates to OINK Games. The Japanese name is direct translations of the English game, of the English name. It's OINK Games. I don't know. I think it's just
I think we're going in a circle grok.
yeah. It's just that's what it is. It's just the name of their. That's just
Circular
the,
grok. He's grokking me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
So there you go.
So we played 2 oink games.
We did. We played.
We've played oink games before. We've played the Scout, which is their big one.
And then we played the Deep
I
Sea
played-
Adventures.
Deep Sea Adventures is an oink game. That's I enjoyed that game for a while. And there's also the one where there's one person that knows the words. It's like, what's that game? 20 guesses.
Mm-hmm. 20 questions.
It's like 20 questions.
I don't know it. I don't.
There's an oink version of that.
Fake Artist in New York's another one. There's several ones of that.
I like to play that.
There's several. So what I did, because I am a cheeky fellow, I looked up kind of what everybody's kind of favorite OINK game was, and then I tried to determine what that one was, and I bought it, and then I looked and tried to find the one that people kind of didn't like, that they kind of just were meh on, and I bought that one. So I bought the
Insider is the game I'm thinking.
Yes, that was the one that was played at the BGG 2015 by the Dice Tower people.
It's okay. We got rid of it. I did. It's 20 questions.
Either way, I bought the best and the worst, basically, per what I could aggregate off the internet and what Grok told me of the OINK games. The worst being In a Grove, which is a deduction game, and the best being Startups, which is a card game. We played both of them.
So Startups beats Scout, despite all I've heard of Scout.
Scout typically now is, but I don't. For some reason, people don't recognize Scout as being an OINK game. Like they play it and they like it, but
Scout's a really good card
Scout
game.
is it. Scout is it.
I like Scout.
I liked both of these games. I'm actually shocked that In a Grove was as good as it was.
2 very individual mechanistic games.
So, In a Grove is a game that has these plastic silhouettes that look like chalk outlines of bodies.
They look like tuning forks. That's what I was thinking
Yeah,
of.
they look like tuning forks. But that
Not
there's
tuna forks. Forks with which you eat tuna.
tuna forks are
Is
the
that a thing?
yes, they're smaller forks.
You don't have a tuna fork?
I
And
don't have
there's-
no tuna fork.
What kind of cutlery do you have in your home?
What do you mean?
Do you eat your salad with a regular fork?
Oh my God.
Maybe.
Savage.
Wait,
Do
what
you-
is it?
let
Wait a
me
minute. Wait, wait, wait.
Do
What's
you
it?
not have different forks in your home? Do you not have a chilled salad fork?
I don't know.
Do you not have a slightly warm tuna
It's
fork?
not like I use the forks there.
How do you eat the chicken of the sea?
It's a smaller
With
fork.
my hands?
With a
Oh my
cracker?
God.
Like
eats
a
with-
heathen?
He just grabs it. He just opens the can and scoops it out with his hand and then shovels it into his
I'm gonna,
mouth.
Enrique, I'm going
Yeah.
to ask you one question. I need a simple answer.
All right.
Oil or water?
No context to this question.
The tuna that you consume, does it come in oil or water?
Oil or water?
Oil?
Oh, get out.
You know how I can answer that question? Neither, because I don't eat tuna.
Why not?
Oh, you
It's
know what?
super healthy.
I don't like tuna. My mother used to make tuna hamburger helper,
Like, I don't even know how to answer that.
There's no such thing.
and it just
There is no such thing
hey,
as tuna hamburger helper. There's no such thing.
Need you to calm down.
No, I'm not calming down.
Need you to
That is
calm
an
down.
offense. There is no such
There's a
thing.
hamburger helper in which you add tuna to
No,
some noodles.
there is no such thing as tuna hamburger
Maybe
helper.
it's called tuna helper.
That might
Okay.
exist, but
All
there
right.
is no the hamburger.
Enrique, how many times have you
helper.
put that cup in that thing and rattle your cage?
You rattle.
didn't need
Listen,
to.
I'm
Sorry.
about rattling
okay,
cages.
it's probably tuna helper, but
Okay.
that used to be a staple in my home growing up, and I grew sick and tired of the.
I
Are you
love.
kidding me? You just took a drink.
I know, but I want
You
another
just
one.
took a-
I
He's
want another one.
parched.
No.
He's parched.
She starts talking about tuna. There, just slide it in there and let it sit.
No, it'll fall.
It's going to fall.
It'll fall.
All right.
It'll fall. It'll fall. It's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. No, don't do that.
It's not gonna fall.
How'd
That's
you say
a
that?
terrible
That's
idea.
a terrible cup holder,
It's not
guy.
gonna fall.
Listen,
Like,
I don't like it hitting the metal on the cup
it's
holder.
going to hit the middle either way.
why do you have to be
It's
like? Why do you
loose.
have to be like this?
Okay, all right.
Why do you
So,
have to be
all right,
so meta?
chaos
And why
has
can't you not
ensued. Chaos has
listen?
ensued. Enrique's trying to use a cup holder in my. Okay, Enrique's taking like a sip of water every 30 seconds,
He's-
and it's causing.
Why does
parched.
it matter?
Because I'm the editor and I have to take out the noise.
Don't edit this. This is fine. Our listeners.
You don't worry because you don't edit.
I don't edit
You
it.
don't edit.
Don't-
You don't edit. Nobody edits. I edit.
You shouldn't edit. Leave it alone. It's
All right.
fine.
All right, let's get back to the show.
My point being
And OINK Games go.
is that in a grove,
Word merge.
which is a deduction game, where
tuning forks. That's how
you
we
take these tuning forks and you need to figure out which tuning fork
Tangent.
killed the other tuning fork.
Tuna.
And the tuna forks are numbered from 2 to 8. And so basically, you lay one tuning fork down. They're all face down. And one of them's like, this is the dead body. So you don't know what number that is.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And then there's 3 others standing around that are like obviously the suspects. And then you pass out the other tuning forks. And then you look at your tuning fork, and then you look at your neighbor's tuning fork, and you have 2 numbers now. So you know those guys
Tuna numbers.
couldn't have killed him. And then on your turn, you look
On
at
your tuna.
out of the 3 suspects, you look at 2 others, and you go,
Tuna others.
wait a minute, which one killed him? And you're supposed to figure it out. And how do you figure it out?
Deduction.
Deduction. And here's how you deduct. Out of the 3 numbers that are out there amongst the suspects, the highest one, the biggest one, did the killing. It's that simple. But it's not that simple, because if the 5 happens to be amongst the subjects,
Caviarat.
he reverses it, and now it's the lowest number that did the killing.
I'm floundering.
And so after you have some incomplete information, you put your little detective badge out there and say, I think this guy killed him. And then your neighbor looks at the other 2 and then he puts his badge. And so you're all just kind of deducting who you think killed the other number.
The other fork.
And what it brings up, yes. And at the end of it, sometimes you kind of lie and you put your little token out there, because when the other detectives put their token out, they put on top of yours. And who's ever the topmost token, if they're wrong, they have to take all the tokens, flip them upside down, and they count as like incompetence tokens, which are the worst type of tokens, are incompetence tokens.
Nobody wants that.
I'm going to start carrying incompetence tokens. And when somebody does
One
something
for you.
I don't like, I'm going to say, here, take this. I'm like, what? This is an incompetence token. This is how I feel about you.
It cracks me up that the other side there was a mustache.
Well, it's because it's a detective and he's too old for this.
Hercule Poirot.
Yes.
I'm guaranteed that's what they base it off of.
Well, obviously.
Hercule Poirot.
Yeah.
The greatest of detectives.
Was he?
That's what Agatha says.
Agatha thought that?
That's what she says.
Really? No.
Miss Marple maybe disagree.
Not Sherlock.
I wonder if Miss Marple and Hercule ever crossed paths.
Did you watch the new Matlock?
I did not, but I'm hearing rave reviews for this Matlock.
Not bad.
Really?
Not bad.
I'm going to have to watch it.
We'll watch it.
Drama. Love it.
I know.
I love drama.
Not really any
Are there any British people in
There's no
it?
British people in
Is Dan Hughes in it?
it. Man, that would be a great Matlock. That should
Go to Josh.
That should have cast as Matlock Huddersfield is Dan Hughes.
I need to hire you. Not for those prices.
The next OINK game we played, which is
Okay, so in the Grove, lowest regarded.
2 to 5 players.
I enjoyed it tremendously.
FYI, there's extra.
Fork YI.
If you're just doing 2, there's other rules, but so it's technically, in my opinion, 3 to 5.
Yeah,
I think it plays.
Whenever you engage other rules for a 2-player game, it's not the same.
I think it better with more players. We played it with the minimum.
I think it would be more fun with more players.
I enjoyed this more than what I thought.
It's
For what it is.
After we get done talking about the other OINK game, I'll proceed.
The other OINK game, Startups, which again, this is the one I was looking forward to because it's anything that deals with stocks, I'm already about it. And this startup game is super simple. It's all a bunch of cards that represent various stocks and companies. You shuffle the deck. You have 3 cards in your hand, and all you're simply doing is either picking a card off the deck or picking a card that has been laid out upon the market. And when you pick up a card, you then have a choice of either playing a card from your hand out in front of you, meaning that is now part of your investments, or putting a card back out into the market. There's a little bit of caveat that then once the market gets full up with different cards, every time you take a card off the deck, you have to put a little coin out on all the cards that happen to be in the market. And the scoring is very Knizia to me. Whereas at the end of the game, whoever has invested so much in each startup, the person that has the most stock, the other players that didn't, the other players that had invested but didn't invest a lot, they have to then pay that player. So it's like a game of deciding which stock you're going to invest in, which company or startup you're going to invest in, but also bailing out and not getting into a bidding match, basically, of trying to collect as many cards as possible and then having to pay out the nose because somebody beat you at the last minute. I really like Startups.
Enrique, words.
Oh, I'm putting words in.
Yeah. It's your time. It's your time to shine. Like a
I just
greasy
like
hog.
I just like the planning and the aggressiveness to this game.
The
Of
grizzleness.
Startups.
Yeah, for startups.
I thoroughly enjoyed Startups. I knew I would like it.
What do you think about the fork game
In the Grove.
In the Grove. In the Grove.
It's
in
the
a grove?
In a Grove. It's
Not the-
It's the detective.
Hey, it could be any grove. It's in
no,
a
it's
grove.
in a very.
No,
It's
not
It's in a Grove.
It's in a grove. It's
So,
not any grove.
Is groves like a place where people get killed in Japan?
No, I think it's
Why is it called in a grove?
hold on.
I need to look that up.
Question? What's a grove?
Yeah, what's a grove?
I feel like it's a field.
It's a field.
In a field.
Which would make sense, right? In a grove, because let me look that up. Because in a grove,
Grove is in.
you look up
Okay, while Jerry's in looking up what a grove indeed is, Enrique.
also translated in a bamboo grove.
Okay, so grove's very specific then if it's just bamboo grove.
Is a Japanese short
It's a field.
story.
Okay.
I would think it'd be a field, right?
All right.
Oh, okay. So this short story, which was published in 1922, which I will not try to pronounce these Japanese names. The story centers on the violent death of a young samurai whose body had been found in a bamboo forest near Kyoto. The preceding events unfurl in a series of testimonies, first by
I love when
passersby,
stuff unfurls.
and then by 3 main protagonists: the samurai, his wife, and a bandit.
Okay.
But the truth remains hidden. It is considered to be and is ranked of one of the 10 best Asian novels of all time.
So In a Grove is a novel.
yeah, so it's
So
a
this is
reference
based upon a novel. It's a reference.
to a 1922
I
novel
get that reference. Captain America.
Is that book published anywhere?
in Japan. I assume.
Okay.
I bet we could find it
But
on the
grove,
internet.
according to the Oxford Language Dictionary, is a small wood, orchard, or group of trees.
Yeah.
So, which, as we know in America, that's where they always find the bodies, in a shallow grave.
Shallow grove.
in a shallow grave. That's what
So, Enrique, I don't believe you've said your words. Did
I
you
would
like
dig
In a Grove?
deep grave.
It was a
were me.
nice little deceptive game. I thought it would be a little bit more of
You got decepted
yeah.
Decepticon.
hard. It was
Like,
Decepticon.
Gali was surprisingly more deceptive than all of us.
I won
I don't know how.
because I didn't
there we
choose.
go.
I didn't.
Credit
I didn't
to Jerry.
decept
Jerry
it.
had to chime in with credit to him.
I won.
Enrique's giving me some credit, and Jerry had to chime in, but I won.
I know.
What's the facts? Just the
Just
facts,
the facts,
ma'am.
ma'am. All right. So, OINK Games, I'm going to say,
Say it. Don't need to preface it.
I have not played a game of theirs I don't like. And if In a Grove is their worst, give it to me.
I want to
I
play
enjoy Scout. I enjoy
Deep Sea Adventure.
Deep Sea Adventure.
Mhm.
I enjoyed Startups tremendously. And during the game, I said, this is a super simple game, but it's not that simple
No, it's not.
because you have to think about stuff.
A lot of strategize.
It's deceptively simple.
I'm going to play Fake Artists in New York.
And Startups, no. In a Grove, I enjoyed. It's a
did.
super simple mechanism, but
It weren't.
I love. This is what I love.
Tell me what you love. What
I'll
you
tell you
really,
what
really love.
I'll tell you what you love right now. I love games just like this that you explain the rules 5 minutes or less. We're playing the game, and I'm enjoying it. It's a good game,
Mm-hmm.
and see, this is the issue.
Tell me
You
the
can
issue.
tell me. I'll tell you the issue right now.
All right.
We can play Ticket to Ride.
Right.
We're going to play that freaking game for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And it has the same depth as any of these games that we're going to finish in 20 minutes.
So you are preaching to the choir. I believe that games such as Ticket the Ride, entry-level games, do not need to overstay their welcome. They need to be this and that and have that done in 20 to 30 minutes.
Carcassonne should not be. Don't give me a start on Carcassonne.
Don't give me a start on Carcassonne either.
But those style of games where you have one rule and don't give me, it's good, but there's deep street. No, there's not. And connect a road or a city and hope that nobody else takes it from you. It's
Yeah.
that simple.
Yeah.
Make it 20 minutes and I'm there.
Yeah.
The OINK games, I'm a fan of. Fake Artists in New York, I've heard good things about.
Huge fan.
I've been wanting to play that for a long time. And you know who sings the praises of OINK games tremendously?
Z.
Armand Delizio.
Delizio does.
He's all about the OINK games.
I will say that I borrowed a Perplexed game, that little bog game, a little gumstick game. I
Mhm.
played with my daughter, who now is obsessed with small box games.
It's about as small as you can get.
Now, Perplex is sending us a few games because I sent them an email and said, "Hey, I love this. Can you send what?"
It really is the size of a Wrigley Spearmint package of
Right,
gum.
and I'm enthralled with these
Juicy
OINK games.
fruit.
Another company that does small box games, which I own several of, is the All Play People, which we replayed. Couture a moment ago. Couture, the game about dresses and fashion shows and bidding. And I remember really liking this game when we played it last time. I played it and it still holds up. It's still an interesting, slight bidding game. It's not my favorite bidding game by far, but it does with just a small box, few cards, and it takes the bidding mechanism and changes it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Does the artwork really well, and there you go. I like games that are that conducive to, here's how you play it, here's what you do, here's one page of the rules, here you go, and 20 minutes later you finish this game and you have enjoyed it, as opposed to a Ticket to Ride or a bigger box game where you have to spread out this board and set things up and shuffle these cards and there's these, that type thing. I think I'm finding that for lighter games, the sweet spot certainly is card games. And for midweight games, it is the board. There are few exceptions to this, I'm finding.
Are the OINK games? I'm looking it up on Board Game Geek, but no, they have. I don't know if they have different designers or if it's a conglomerate like.
I believe the Perplex games have like basically the same designer. In the OINK games, I believe, are different designers. Don't quote me.
Yeah, so they have some designers there. And so it's like, and it's unfortunate because we do tend to recognize the publisher as opposed to the designer of the games themselves, because the publishers just are more well known. Couture and all play games, we've played it. Have we played any other all play games?
There's several, like there's a fishing game. We've played them me and Enrique have played them at BGG, several of them. There's one that's like the Mountain Goat game.
Oh, yeah.
Which I bought from the Bearded Greyjoy.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
So, like, I like what this publisher is doing. We should acknowledge the designers, but unfortunately, I don't have them put up in front of me. But yeah, I like all play. Couture, it's still solid, just like Jerry said. It doesn't, what is that? Is it just called Mountain Goats? I think it's just called Mountain Goats.
It's a good one, yeah.
And the OINK Games, I'm in. Send them to me.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
I want to play Fake Artists in New York and whatever else they got, because they have yet to let me down on a game.
I do like, considering how we've been doing a lot of different parties here lately, because people keep inviting us to these gatherings.
We love to raise the roof.
And we keep taking these small box games. And as I'd pointed out at the last gathering we had, it's these lighter games, these party games that tend to be the best. But when you come down to people who want to actually sit and play a light, what I would refer to a more traditional board game that's just casual,
yeah,
boy, it's hard to beat.
So hopefully for this BGG, I need to find a lot more party games.
You need to be the life of the party. You yourself, for instance.
We will be at BGG Spring coming up on the Memorial Day weekend of May.
Yes, Chad will be there. Will Timothy be there? The
Bowers will be there. The Chasson Maison con that we attended back in, what was that, December?
Christmas.
They'll be there. Many others. Jeff and his now wife.
Joffrey? He married Teresa?
Are we bringing a new addition to this party?
Yes. So Harrington might come with us.
Yeah, that should be
I'm hoping Harrington comes.
Is Bubba coming?
Bubba might. Bubba might be at up a mountain that time too.
Yeah, so anyway, for sure, Jerry, Enrique, and myself shall be there. If you see us or hear us, come play a game with us. We enjoy that. There's nothing that satisfies and warms the cockles of my heart more than meeting someone that says, "Hey, I listen to you.
I love you.
I love you.
And I want to play with you."
Oh, Lord.
Play some board games.
No, that's weird. Don't even look me in the eye.
Don't
touch me.
Come up to us and say hello.
No, don't even come. No.
Hey, leave us a review, a positive one, 5 stars.
No, 1 star is all the way. Here's a tank us.
Apple Podcast.
At least a 3.5.
Apple Podcast, leave us a review.
Listen,
but
you're really
obsessed
with that 1 star review.
Whatever. I'm not worried about musical chef.
You know his name. He's in your head.
The musical chef. Not like there's multiple. He's just the musical chef. Also,
some singing culinary artist hurt your feelings.
What if it's Emerald Lagasse?
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Bam! 1 review.
Wolfgang Puck is out there laying down for 1 star.
Email us. How do you feel about OINK Games? We need more emails and your opinions of what we have said in our words on this podcast.
Oh, our words.
Email us about our words.
Email us.
Rate our words.
Touch those links and email
us. Touch the links.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode.
I guess that will do it for this episode.
Until next time, I'm Gabby.
This is Jerry.
Thank you for tolerating this episode of the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.